What is up, my peeps? Good mother trucking day to you. Molly and I kind of get a really late start today. She hasn't been feeling 100%, and I honestly haven't been feeling 100% either. And so we're getting a very late start. I mean, it's 3:30 in the afternoon, and we're literally going to drive to places that darn near close once we get there. But we're doing it. We are going to return down to Barberville to the Yard Art Emporium. We're going to get there just before they close. Last time we went, we stumbled across it on accident, and they were already closed for the day. We have to go see it. We're like, man, that place looks so epic. We may or may not buy anything, but we are definitely going to enjoy going down there and seeing the sights. There's also a bunch of stuff near there that we didn't get to explore last time we drove down. So we'll probably be doing a little bit of exploration, and then we have a destination in mind. Since it's the beginning of spooky season, we're right the beginning of September. That's when the Halloween stuff really starts coming out, and there's stuff in Florida like haunted horror nights down at Universal, and all the other theme parks have their stuff going on. Well, we want to start this off with not a theme park, right? So I would like to start off the spooky season with maybe something that's not theme park orientated. And so my buddy told me about this place in a town called Cassadaga, I think. And apparently that area is a vortex of supernatural stuff. And there's all kinds of spiritual people there, little, I don't want to say witches, but people that will definitely do palm reading and different things. The whole town is kind of wrapped around this. And I guess there's a cemetery down there that is super popular. People are dying to get in there. But seriously, there's a cemetery down there that is a popular attraction because there is a chair that's built there called the Devil's Chair. And it's a really large brick structure, chair-like thing that would house a big demon. And it's called the Devil's Chair. And we're going to check it out. And I guess there's all kinds of supernatural stuff surrounding it, different, I don't know. I'll have Molly kind of go over some of that when she talks. But yeah, a good way to start off the spooky season. So stay tuned.
We are getting a late start just because we did a lazy morning. We are now heading to Barberville Yard Emporium. We were in this area a few weeks ago and they were closed, so we didn't get to stop in. We did a peek through the store, kind of by their fence of all the things.
So what do you think, Molly? Do you want to get your mom some for her birthday here? It's kind of got that weird shit there.
So, I don't know if my mom watches these videos, and she's supposed to, but likely that I will end up getting something, but I can't reveal when that will be. I think we should pick something else for our house.
I think it'd be cool. I mean, it's really going to depend on cost. I mean, if the stuff is outrageous, then we won't get to. But no matter what, I think just seeing interesting stuff is going to be neat. I think when we came before, there was so much cool stuff on the outside that I know they sell like honey and stuff like that there, get some like local honeys. Could be cool.
I know he said we're not going to buy anything, but I've settled between the 6-foot Pig Boy or the dinosaur Rar.
Being very patriotic like I am. Maybe a bunch of those little yard soldiers. Guarding the yard. So, if you don't love it, leave it.
That would actually be cool because it's like Toy Story.
Yeah. I do think having some sort of statement piece would be neat. That statement piece could be like a little gnome or something, but
we're getting the dinosaur.
The dinosaurs coming up next. So we are 2.8 miles away.
We just arrived and it is super busy. Let's go take a look. Benches. So cute. So it looks like it's all painted terracotta here. All these aisles. Those cute little pots.
right. Unfortunately, my camera that I was using to record inside the Yard Art Emporium, the battery died. So I got some cool footage, but there's so much there. I mean, I know Molly got some footage, and we are now leaving. We had purchased a couple things. One thing for a present for somebody, so we won't post that here, but Molly also bought a couple of planters. She loves plants, and we're starting to decorate our yard with different species of plants around the backyard. And so these will be nice additions to that. Bring a little color into the backyard. Everything's been kind of just black and white. But now we are heading to Cassadaga, Florida. And this is going to be where we begin our haunt series, where we do all things spooky, you know. And the yard art had some cool spooky stuff. There was you know, everything from aliens to like Day of the Dead painted scheme things to actual dead skulls that have ornate carvings around them. But now we're going to go to a place that is supposedly haunted and has all kinds of you know, spiritual stuff going on there. So stay tuned. It's going to be an adventure. We're going to see the Devil's Chair.
We are currently heading now to Cassadaga in Volusia County. So that's kind of outside of Orlando, in between Orlando and Daytona, maybe just a little north of that. It is the psychic capital of the world. We are just about heading into Cassadaga, and we are going to, I'm going to flip this around. There is the sign. It says to take a left. So we're going to take a left, and we're heading over to the Devil's Chair, which is in a cemetery. So
okay, we made it to the cemetery, and we are now looking for the Devil's Chair. You know, I thought this was going to be a really popular cemetery that people were dying to get in here, but there's actually a lot of room for more people to go, so I don't know, maybe it's not the most popular place. Alright, so there's like a gate here, and look how creepy this is. They have a little trike right there, and bunch of other toys and cars. Good choice though. There's a 5th gen Camaro toy there. I own a 5th gen. But here is the bench. And I don't know if this is the Devil's Chair or not, but it's definitely probably a family plot. So this first little plot here we thought maybe was the Devil's Chair because of this. We'll show you. There is a chair here, and it's creepy. I mean, this is obviously a baby plot right here, 1917, but yet they got these new toys. Very interesting. I think this might be the Devil's Chair. I'm not 100% sure. But there is a can of beer there, and I hear that's the key, is people will put cans of beer here. 1872 and 1913 is when the Thatchers died. Very interesting. Those still have alcohol in them. So the devil was not super thirsty.
this looks like it could just open up. Sealed it. But doesn't it look like he could just open up?
There's like a little mausoleum, almost above ground tomb here. Molly said that's probably one of the creepiest things she's ever seen. Lots of big headstones here. This one also says Thatcher, same as that over there. So that's very interesting. This is a secondary plot, and it too has a devil's chair here. Oh, how interesting. little bit different. Nobody's leaving the devil any beer here, though.
Greg's checking this one out.
This one, they never finished the date that this person died, but they knew they died in the 1900s.
I've been to a lot of cemeteries and I've never seen these types of markers before. They're pretty magnificent, almost like mausoleum, but just as a huge place marker.
Alright, so this place is pretty interesting. There's these devil's chairs that I don't really know the meaning of, why they have those here, but two of them are for families called Thatcher. And then one of them was really creepy. It was for apparently children. So really interesting. I don't know what the significance of the devil's chair is. It is definitely creepy and has lots of historical significance to obviously people in this area. So
Been to a lot of cemeteries because I think they're really neat. It's neat to see the history, but the air in this cemetery is kind of heavy feeling. I don't know if I'm just imagining it or if that's really what's happening, but I just feel like a heaviness in the air. It's an interesting feeling.
a lot of really cool headstones, a lot of old stuff. We're talking probably 1800s for a lot of it. Yeah, this one's like 1849 over here. So here people are putting, cups of coffee. And what I find interesting is if you look here, this says 1854 to 1929, but then over here, and I've seen this a couple times, this one says 1866 to 19, and then they never finished it. So it looks like some sort of burrow there for some probably wild animal. You guys decided to dig some stuff up. And then other stuff here. It's really going to kind of show you guys the creepiness here. A lot of these grave sites have basically little fences built around.
Just walked past this tree over here. I'll flip it in a second. And the air completely feels different. I know that's probably silly to some people, but I felt what I felt. So
We got some really little headstones here, which are interesting. It's almost like those are like the footstones and then headstones. Pretty worn here. Very dark.
So there's a tree right over there kind of by our truck. It's the little one in front, not the big one, the Spanish moss. As soon as I walk past that, completely different feel. Call it what you want. Pretty crazy.
Looks like this plot was probably purchased for multiple people, but there's only one headstone here. And of course, looks like a wild animal is dug underneath there. And you come over here and you got headstones at 1984 right here. So it's kind of all over the place. Over there, 1970. This says F, which I would guess would be like the footstone for this one. But then there's another one over here that says F here. And where it's at doesn't seem like the right spot for a foot. So I'm not sure what's going on there. 1941. And there's another little F here. So not exactly sure what the little square F's are for, but I am seeing them here and there, so I imagine F is for foot, maybe? Little footstones. A lot of really nice plots here, though.
What a beautiful view. It's honestly so pretty here.
Yeah, so Molly and I walked most of the cemetery. We checked it out. Back there was a lot of current stuff, even more recent deaths. Back here where we first started, it's definitely hundreds of years old, and it's really kind of creepy. You could feel it. Molly was just talking about how the air just feels different today. Like once we got into the cemetery, it felt very heavy. That's the best way I could put it. They say this place is pretty haunted, and I can see that, you know. I don't know if I necessarily believe in ghosts yet, but there are lots of supposed sightings and different things, so it definitely feels stranger. Here's a spot we didn't look at over here. There's some old stuff. Let's go check this out. Here's a big plot, probably family plot. The large headstone, which you can't really tell how big it is here, but it's a large headstone. If my camera wasn't in wide mode, you'd be able to tell. But you can see there's a little one, which that one there is like normal size, and that big one must be the whole family. Yeah. So, you know, it's very Purdy, mainly because their name is Purdy. And this is also kind of old stuff. I would imagine, by looking at these stones, I'd imagine that these stones were put in much later after the death. They look more modern. Maybe something happened with storms or damage, but those look more modern compared to, say, this right here, which is only a year older. This one looks old, and that one looks fairly new. It definitely, there's a vibe here. It's one of those things that until you're actually here, you can't really feel it. All these headstones are pretty weathered here. And if you look, like this one's from 1978. You know, it's actually more modern than some of those other ones, but very, very dark and creepy looking. There's the opening gates where we came in. Okay, after the cemetery, we decided to go into the town of Cassadaga, and there's all kinds of cool stuff here. I'm going to just turn the camera around and let you see. So right here, there's Hotel Cassadaga, and it's got Sinatra's Restaurante right inside there. Over here, there's one of the spiritualist psychic therapy centers. They are open for business, it looks like. They offer spiritual, psychic, and tarot card mediumship here. Looks like they got a nice little patio here, either for waiting or they might actually do the readings right there. Walking down just the back street, and there's all these old houses with all these psychics that you could go, just basically go knock on the door and say, hey, I need a tarot card reading or whatnot. And then we are coming down to a temple, it looks like. It looks like, I mean, it's not modern, it's just been updated. Looks like it was built in 1923. But really nice looking, like town hall memorial temple type of setup. And then you could rent this place right here for rent.
There's the Eloise Meditation Garden. It does say it's closed at dusk, so I'm gonna just come to this point. That cute little street. Looks like there's a modern building down here, though. What is that?
So here's something that's interesting. Right to my right, there is something called Black Hawk Park. And it's really just some grass. And then across the street from that is Seneca Park. And it looks like a full-on park. I think there's a pond in here and whatnot. Seneca Park. Now, like I said, back over there, that's Black Hawk Park. But there's really nothing there. So, Seneca Park. Here's some creepy animals up there somewhere. Looks like there's a gazebo over here. There's a waterfall over there. We'll have to go check that out over there. There's waterfall. There's something you don't see in Florida very often, just waterfalls. Granted, these are man-made, but still cool. But over here, this is actually a beautiful little pond here. There's probably gators here, so, you know, we'll have to watch out. But look at that house just across the pond, you know. The reflections are really cool. I should have brought my actual camera with me on this little hike.
It's great down by the water.
Really nice. fog coming off of the pond there. Beautiful little house over there. I really like it. And my wife.
All these little stones with, it's like encouraging words and things about maybe people that were here at one point. This is really neat.
Still got a post office here, a small little post office. It looks like it's still functioning. Just down the way we have Purple Rose Readings. And then right next to that is the Haunted History Museum.
Some information about a haunted house.
Cool little history museum right here with a bunch of oddities. Private driveway, do not use. Not a huge museum. All right, so I had to get out of the cemetery, or we're leaving the cemetery right now. It definitely felt odd, like my wife noticed it kind of right away, like when we got out of the truck, like the air felt heavy. It's kind of strange. It's hard to explain. But as I walked around, I was being bombarded with bugs, unfortunately, and so doing too much exploring. I didn't spray myself with bug spray or anything. So unfortunately, I couldn't really spend a ton of time here. Plus, it is actually 7 o'clock, and they said no person should be in the cemetery after 7, which is kind of a creepy thing. You know, what's up with that? But really interesting find. It's a good way to start. It's a good way to start our little creepy haunted series. Normally we're going to abandoned places. I guess this fits into that, but it's, you know, the final resting place for a lot of